Hey, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, drop a like on my video, and share it on social media. Thanks. So I came across this article and I had to say something about it. There are videos of Black Lives Matter mob swarms hospital where deputies were being treated after being ambushed, threatened police at scene saying, "You're next." This is what I've always said. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. They are not about doing what is right by black people. They're about doing what is wrong by white people. Okay? This whole notion that we have a movement that is racially based is going to do good things for people of other races. It's, on the face of it, doesn't sound right. And then when you look at what Black Lives Matter complaint is, their complaint is white people. That's it. That's their whole complaint, white people. They say it's police, right? But it's just this is a white supremacist patriarchal society. They'll tell you that. The police have done some things that are bad, I'm sure. We can look at statistics here. I'll bring up some of these stats. We see that the police aren't really killing that many people in the United States. These are this is what I found, right? It's just they're not there. When I did the Ahmaud Arbery video, you can look at that video. I had a commenter say, "Well, you brought up stats from 2012 in that video about how many white people are being killed as compared to how many black people are being killed." And he said, now that there are, cell phones are much more prevalent than they were in 2012 with video cameras. You'd see these stats flip the other way. It's white people killing black people or whatever." And I'm like, No. Here, and I brought up the FBI stats and showed him for 2018. I don't know if he bothered to look at it, but the stats are that there are a lot more white people being killed by black people than the other way around. Police are not killing very many people in the country. Police are certainly not killing more black people than they are killing white people. These are statistics that are well known. They're recorded in many different ways, many different forms. But for these individuals here wanting to support a black man shooting two police officers, potentially killing them. We don't know if they're dead. I don't know if they're dead yet. I haven't looked into it. This is the race war. BLM is driving this race war. Stop supporting BLM. Do not give them any positive support. Black Lives Matter mob swarmed the hospital where two deputies were taken for treatment after being ambushed and shot. They blocked doorways, threatened officers at the scene, and attempted to force their way inside. I don't know why there's a baby rat. Is that? As the Gateway Pundit previously reported, two Los Angeles County Sheriff deputies, a man and a woman, are in surgery fighting for their lives after each was shot in the head during an ambush attack by a lone gunman at a metro station in Compton Saturday night. Here we go. Moments ago, two of our sheriff deputies were shot in Compton and were transported to a local hospital. They are both still fighting for their lives, so please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. We will update this thread with information as it becomes available. Let's go. So it goes on to their update. One male deputy and one female deputy were ambushed as they sat in their patrol vehicle. Both sustained multiple gunshot wounds and are in critical condition. They are both currently undergoing surgery. The suspect is still at large. The gunman walked up to deputies and opened fire without warning. I'll leave a link to this. The police door here is open. I think this is the suspect running away right here. The police door here opened after he shot them and ran away. So they were still alive. And it's my understanding they called for help after having been shot in the head each. Happening now. So we are at St. Francis Hospital where two pigs have been brought to be repaired after being shot in the head. All right. That's Kevin Wharton Price wrote that. He looks like he has some BLM. He has like a George Floyd image here, some BLM This is BLM and what they stand for, yeah. This is what they stand for. They stand for killing the police, killing white people. This is what I've been saying all along. You listen to what black people complain about. They complain about the police, they complain about white people. They don't complain about other people. They don't complain about anything other than white people and the police. You know, white man bad, police are hunting us down. Let's take a look at this video here.
What's up, y'all? We're down here at the St. Francis Hospital. We're down here. Excuse me?
No, we're coming to visit someone.
No, you're not.
We can't go visit nobody?
You can once we confirm who it is, but there's no visitation allowed anyway, so you gotta go.
All right, y'all. You see what's happening right here, right? They got these pigs out here. They are telling us that we cannot come in here and see these individuals who's been shot down at the motherfucking train station. You understand what I'm saying?
There's no visitation allowed, sir.
What?
There's no visitation allowed, sir.
Okay. This is a public hospital
No, it's
right
not.
here.
It's a private hospital.
And you telling us that we cannot
It's a private
come
hospital, sir.
inside
It's a private hospital, sir.
It's a public.
No, it's not. It's not county. It's private. You need to go.
This is public.
You need
How
to
you
go,
gonna stop
sir.
us from coming up in
You
here?
need to go, sir.
You need to go.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
You
so
need to
this,
go, sir.
look.
All right, so I cut that because the first part is nothing, and I didn't want to get a strike potentially for playing the whole video. The activists who have widespread support from Democrat politicians and nearly every major corporation did chants wishing death upon the officers after they arrived at the hospital. Approximately a dozen of them were at the scene celebrating the shooting and threatening officers and their families. Two police officers were ambushed and shot. Far left-wing protesters went to the hospital where the officers were to receive treatment. They wished death on the officers and blocked an entranceway. Let's see what we have here.
Describe for me what the protesters were chanting. What were they saying?
Well, they were saying death to the police, kill the police, and these are sheriffs. But the message is still the same, and they were using all type of curse words and derogatory terms about the police, just provoking our police officers. Unacceptable behavior, because the hospital should be a sanctuary where we should leave hospitals alone. And
Certainly tensions are on high.
All right, so there's a witness saying death to the police. All right, they also threatened officers at the scene saying, "You're next." Isn't that a felony if you threaten an officer of the law with death or grave bodily injury? I'm pretty sure that's illegal, and you could be arrested for that. So it says right here, now Black Lives Matter protesters yell, "I hope they die," outside the hospital where two Los Angeles sheriff departments are shot. Let's take a look.
I hope they die, motherfucker!
supposedly this shit's fucking private, right? Yeah. So everybody's in here fucking related to this church? I mean, to this hospital?
Come on down here.
How's it private?
Motherfucker! Off the police!
That's their dumb bitches, man.
You know how white supremacy is.
Yeah.
How about that? What you want to do? You want to fire a shot? Is that what you want to do?
No.
Go ahead,
I
motherfucker.
love it. He's ready with his gun.
He's ready, look.
He's ready with his
He's
gun.
ready with his gun.
He's ready with his gun.
Motherfucker.
He's
They
ready.
die any motherfucking way. So you want to fire the shot? Fire the motherfucking shot.
He's ready, bro.
Come on, slow that shit down. That's why y'all fucking dying one by one.
Yeah,
That's why y'all.
So you heard it right there in this recording. You heard it right there in this recording. He was saying, how is this a private hospital? He said, that's just their excuse, you know, white supremacy, you know how it is. Dude, there's a difference between public and private. See, these people, the reason they're all up in arms, the reason they're all angry, I'm convinced of this, is they don't really know what they're talking about. They don't really know what's happening in the world. I used to work for a private hospital. Private hospital means it's owned by individuals. A public hospital is a community trust. Okay, there's a difference between public and private hospitals, but not only that, with COVID, we're not having visitation anyway. Visitation is limited, very limited. And there's no reason why there's supposedly 12 black people here. There's supposedly 12 men here. There's no reason to let 12 men into the hospital, and especially considering what they're saying, how they want to kill these two officers. They want to make sure these two officers die. Yeah, no, that's not acceptable. These people should be arrested just for what they're saying. Not not that I'm against freedom of speech, but I mean, threatening people with death is illegal. That's a chargeable offense in the United States. I don't necessarily agree that it should be, but that's the way that it is. Yeah, this is ridiculous. You see this behavior. You see this one officer come up with a gun, and they're like, "Yeah, go ahead and take the shot. Go ahead and take the shot." Well, it's like you're out there hollering and screaming. There's a group of you who's acting aggressive and saying, "We want to kill the police. We want to kill these two officers." What do you expect them to do? I mean, I would come out with guns if somebody was threatening to kill people, and I was charged, especially if I was charged with defending those people. But if somebody's threatening to kill me and I had a gun, then hey, guess what? I'm gonna make sure my gun is visible, at least. Let's move on here. Evil Black Lives Matter protesters threaten law enforcement officers and voice "You're next" outside of the hospital where two sheriff deputies were shot. I think we saw this one, but let's take a look here.
These are only phones. They're not guns. Put that shit down, you punk bitch. Put it down. That's why you're fucking dying one by one. Put that shit down. You're next with the fucking hot pocket, bitch. You're next.
You live by the gun, you die by the damn police chief. Fuck the goddamn.
Yeah, that's why you feel big and bad, huh? That's why you feel big and bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So yeah, you're next. Threatening police. That's, as far as I know, that's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. But they're there. They should be arrested, I think. To the protesters blocking the entrance and exit of the hospital emergency room, yelling, "We hope they die," referring to two LA sheriffs ambushed today in Compton. Do not block emergency entries or exits to the hospital. People's lives are at stake when ambulances can't get through. The LASD tweeted. Yeah. What if there was an emergency and I was injured and I had to go to the hospital and you were blocking the entrance?
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Let me see here. I am sick. Katie Daviscourt says, now Black Lives Matter protesters yell, "I hope they die" outside the hospital. This is just a repeat of one of the previous videos. The movement has been described repeatedly as mostly peaceful. It's not. It's subversive. I don't care if they act like they're nonviolent. This is all to perpetuate violence by politicians and mainstream media. It doesn't matter. They're violent. They're a violent terrorist organization. Here's the video of the ambush shooting. It's a pretty bad quality one. Photos of two of the men, who were at the hospital threatening the police. Yeah. So I've said it, a bunch of times. This is the beginning of the race war. We're seeing it come to blows now. Actually come to blows. And these people are deranged lunatics who want to kill police and kill white people. All right? I wish that everybody would wake up to this and realize this is what's happening. BLM needs to be stopped. It needs to be categorized as a terrorist organization. They need to be stopped now. It would be one thing if they were actually fighting for something righteous. We've already had this fight. Okay? We've already gone through the civil rights movement. We already had it. That was the end of the war. You want to keep it going by saying, hey, look, there were Jim Crow laws. Hey, look, there was redlining. Redlining, I already talked about this, affected white people too. Hey, look, there was slavery over 150 years ago. Hey, look, there were lynchings, and we lynched white people too. I've already gone over this. These are things that have already been done and dealt with. the only way that you're going to stop thinking, BLM is going to stop thinking that this is a war, that this is the elimination of black people, is if they stop dwelling on the past. They stop living in the past. Focus on what they can do right now, today, to make their lives better, instead of focusing on the past and things that were done in the past or things that happened in the past. This is disgusting, and these people need to be arrested. You know, I'm all about freedom of speech, civil disobedience, as long as it's nonviolent, it's fine. You're blocking a hospital where dying people need to be taken to keep them from dying. Sorry, that should not be allowed. So anyway, I got a lot of more videos to do because there's so much stuff going on right now, but hopefully I'll get one out tomorrow. We'll see. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.